So guys, today we are going to see basics concept of the cranial nerve. Before entering into the any specific cranial nerve, before going to explain any cranial nerve, okay, we have to know some basics concept of the cranial nerve, so it will be easy. Okay, there is a 12 cranial nerve, and I hope you know the names, or otherwise I will tell you. Okay, but what happens if you read one first, second, third, like that you have to read. Okay, after that, once you complete everything, like all the 12 cranial nerves, there is the what thing we have to write in the we have to remember the cranial nerve. First thing is the nucleus. Okay, from where its origins. So nucleus. After that, fibers, which is the very important. Nucleus and the fibers is the very important. And after that, it's the course and everything. Okay, so we will see everything. We will see. Okay, so don't worry about that. But basic concept of the cranial nerve. Okay, more than 99% students, they don't know basics concept of the cranial nerve, and if they want to read it, and everyone is reading, and everyone is like ratifying only. Okay, they are reading, and after some time they are forgetting. They don't have exact concept. Okay, because here is some fibers like general somatic efferent fiber, general somatic efferent fiber. Okay, in which cranial nerve which fiber will comes. Okay, so everything I will explain here. Okay, so this is the basics concept of the cranial nerves. Okay, so video based on the basics concept which you have to understand. Okay, if you want to understand cranial nerve properly, right? So before going to explain anything, I would like to tell you there is a 12 pair of the cranial nerve. Okay, 12 pairs of the cranial nerve. Name I will tell you. Okay, so in that first of all we have to see the which is the sensory, which is the motor, and which is the mix. Okay, so let me write here. So first of all I am going to write the sensory. Okay, sensory, motor, and the mixed. These things you have to remember. Okay, because one time question has been asked in the MPC. What was that? I will discuss shortly. Okay, so here sensory. Can you tell me the sensory? See, you just think which is your sensory organ. Oh, olfaction is the sensory, right? Optic, I'm visualizing the things. Okay, so this is the sensory organ, and I'm hearing, right? You are hearing me, right? So ear. So olfactory. So cranial number 1 is the olfactory cranial, second is the optic. Okay, and one is the which supply to the this ear, that is the vestibulocochlear nerve, and that is the cranial number 8. So first of all the olfactory nerve. First, after that optic, that is the second and 8th cranial number. Okay, that is the vestibulocochlear nerve. Name of the cranial nerve I will tell you. Okay, first starting from olfactions. Okay, olfactions, after that optic. Okay, first of all olfactory, optic, oculomotor. Okay, like that it will go. And after that motor, and one is the mixed. Now in the mixed, how you have to remember? Go alternative. 5, 7, 9 and 10. Right? So 5th, 7th, 9th and the 10th. So these are the mixed cranial nerve. Remaining all are the motor. Okay. So can you tell me first, second is here. So where is third? Third will be here. Am I right? Yes. 4 is fourth. Fourth will be here. Fourth, right? 5th is here. Yeah, 5th is here. So 6 will be here. 7th is here. 8 is here. 9 and 10. So cranial number which? Cranial number. Now 11 and the 12 is here. Right? This is the sensory, motor, and the mixed that you have to remember. Okay. So starting with one basics concept, that is the central nervous system. Okay, the central nervous system, entire central nervous system is arising from where? Mostly. Okay, so it's from one tube that is called, this is what? This is the neural tube, right? So here I am mentioning this is the neural tube, right? This is the neural tube, and here is the cavity of the neural tube. Okay, this is the cavity. Okay, so I want to cut it, cross sections. Okay, and I want to show you here. Okay, this is the very important. Okay, this is your neural tube, right? And here will be your cavity. This part is your cavity. Okay, so let's divide it from here. Let's divide it from here. So this will be the anterior part. This is the anterior part, and here is the posterior part, right? Posterior part. Now this anterior part is also called basilar plate. Basilar plate. And this posterior part is called alar plate. Alar plate. Now, can you tell me this posterior part is the sensory part? Yes, this is the sensory. And this is the motor part. Okay. So, structure which are arising from cranial nerves which are the motors arising from the anterior part or the basilar plate, or those are sensory which arise from the alar plate. One question in the EMS has been asked one question. That question was the hypoglossal nuclei. Hypoglossal nuclei. So hypoglossal is the 12th cranial number, right? So I am writing here 12th cranial number. Cranial nerve nuclei. Nuclei derives from. Can you tell me what? First option A. B. Okay, we will talk two options. First option is the AP, alar plate. Second is the basal plate. Can you tell me the answer? Yes, very good. 12th is the motor. 12th, see here, 12th cranial nerve is the motor now, right? And the motor, so all the motors are arising from the anterior part. So the answer is the basilar plate is the right answer. That was the right answer in the EMS, right? So this is how in the PG exam the question is asking. Okay, now examiner is asking questions like this indirectly, right? So this is the neural tubes cut sections, posterior part, anterior part. Anterior part is derived from the basilar plate and the posterior part from the alar plate, right? And this is the sensory, posterior is the sensory and this is the motor. Okay, these things you have to remember, right? These things you should know. So now what we have to do in the basics concept of the cranial nerve, we have to talk about the functional column. Okay, see, if I am touching here, okay, some sensation is going to the central nervous system, and from central nervous system some sensation is coming, okay, and that is the regulating, okay, whether I should keep my hand here or I should remove it, okay, I should take off from there, okay, so that all decided by the central nervous system, okay. So once the sensation going, and after the central nervous system, so going means efferent fibers and sensations coming from the central nervous system, okay, that is the efferent, right? So I want to rough it and talk about and before that, you know that nuclei of the cranial nerve, right? So that is what I told now. Nuclei of cranial nerve, right? So it is of two types. One is the from sensations going, and one is the coming, right? So going, this is the afferent and this is the efferent, right? So here is one is the afferent and sensations carried from the central nervous system, that is called efferent. Okay, so can you tell me this efferent and efferent? Can you say like this? From here sensation is going. So this is the sensory, right? So efferent is the sensory. And here this is the motor. Okay, so nuclei of the cranial nerve, it's of two types. One is the sensory and the second is the motor. So sensory is also called efferent and the motor is also called efferent. Am I right? Yes. This thing you have to understand, right? Now after that is the cavity and this is the sensory, motor and everything you have to know, right? Now I want to talk about the functional column. There is two types of functional column. So here functional columns, right? So I think like speed is right. Okay, no problem. See, two types. Okay, functional columns. Now one thing is that is the what I said, efferent, and second thing is afferent, right? So one thing, see, efferent and the afferent. So there is two type of nucleus. One thing is the efferent coming here is central nervous system, it's coming from a efferent, and one thing is the afferent. Right? Now there is various type of fibers. Okay, you just what you do, you just let me write here fibers, and after that I will explain. Okay, how you have to remember, not remember what is the actual concept. Okay, so first fiber from efferent. Okay, from here to here, that is the general somatic efferent, right? So here is the general somatic efferent. Am I right? Yes. Second thing is the, first is the general somatic efferent. Second thing is the special visceral efferent. So here is the special visceral efferent, right? Yeah. Third thing is the general visceral efferent. Okay, same thing is here, but thing is the, here is the efferent, there will be the afferent. So general somatic afferent. So I want to write in short, general somatic afferent. Second thing is the special visceral afferent. So special visceral afferent. And third thing is the general visceral efferent, right? So here is the general visceral and afferent. And one thing is that is called special somatic fibers, right? Special somatic afferent. Right? Now you can see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right? There is 7. Now you tell me in the oculomotor which fibers will be there. Can you tell me the facial nerve which fiber is there? In the hypoglossal. Tell me the spinal accessory. We don't know, right? So now we have to understand one concept. Okay, that is the, and I am going to start with the general somatic efferent. Okay, yes. So want to rough all this part, and I have to talk about first of all this general somatic afferent, right? So see here, general somatic efferent. So GSE. General somatic efferent. So this general somatic efferent. See here, this is the efferent. Okay, sorry. This is the efferent, right? Here is the efferent. So efferent is showing that is the, it is the motor. Okay, it is the motor. Somatic. Okay, so somatic. So these fibers will supply to the muscles which are arise from this somatic. Okay, so there is two type of somatics. Right? One is the occipital somites, and one thing is the pre-occipital somites. Now, can you tell me muscles which are derived from this occipital somites? That is the muscles of the tongue. Very good, yeah. So tongue muscles, tongue, and pre-occipital somites. Which muscles will be arising? Extraocular muscles of the eye. Yes. So extraocular muscles of eye. Right. Now you tell me, do you know the nerve supply of the tongue? Yes, you know. And which supply? Sensory or motor? So we are talking efferent. See here, efferent. So we are talking about motor, right? So motor nerve supply. What is the motor nerve supply of the tongue? Yes, tell me. All the muscles of the tongue are supplied by hypoglossal nerve. That is the hypoglossal is 12th cranial nerve. Yes, all the muscles of the tongue are supplied by hypoglossals. Now, except that you know palatoglossus, which is supplied by the cranial root of assessing nerve via pharyngeal plexus. That is okay. But it's supplied by which? 12th cranial nerve. Am I right? Yes. Can you tell me the extraocular muscles of eye is supplied by? Yeah, there is one mnemonics that is called SO4, LR6, and all other by third. What is this? This we will talk in the extraocular muscles. But the thing is the fourth cranial nerve, right? So here is the fourth cranial nerve. This is the sixth. So here is the sixth, and here is the third. Right? So these fibers, general somatic efferent, supplying to those muscles which are arising from the somites. Yes, and we know the muscles of the spine and the extraocular muscles. Okay, now cranial number, here is the 12 and here is the third. Yeah, fourth, the third, fourth and the sixth. So can I tell, when I will explain the cranial number 12, hypoglossal nerve, which fiber I will write there? This only, general somatic efferent. On that time you should not have any doubt, like from where I am writing this. When I will explain the third cranial nerve, which is our next video only, when I will explain this third cranial nerve, I will tell there is one GSC. I will tell there is a GSC. On that time you should not have any doubt. Why? Because third cranial number. Muscles, it's supplying to the extraocular muscles of the eye. So, third, fourth, sixth and 10 which supplied by hypoglossal. This all cranial nerve having these fibers. Got it or not? Yes, that is the concept, right? Now, so in this we have to talk about this, and these things you have to remember. Okay. Now, second thing, that is the special visceral efferent fibers. Okay. So I want to write it here. Okay. So we are talking about special visceral efferent fibers. Okay. So SVE. What is the concept of this? See, special visceral. The moment you think special visceral efferent, not afferent, efferent, right? So what should come in your mind? Special visceral efferent means pharyngeal arch. Yes, it means pharyngeal arch. Pharyngeal arch. Am I right or not? Yes. So, do you know the pharyngeal arches? There is 5 pharyngeal arch. Yes. Which? First. So first pharyngeal arch, second, there is third pharyngeal arch, and fourth and sixth. Yeah, there is no fifth pharyngeal arch. Am I right? There is not fifth. First, second, third, fourth, and the sixth. So there is total 5. Now, do you know in the first pharyngeal arch, this is pharyngeal arch, which nerve will be arise? Yeah, we all know mandibular nerve, which is supplying to the muscles of the mastication. Why? Because those muscles are muscles of the mastication also from the first pharyngeal arch, right? So now see here, first pharyngeal arch, which nerve is there? Mandibular nerve. Mandibular nerve. In the second pharyngeal arch, which nerve is there? Facial nerve. Very good. Yeah, facial nerve. Am I right? Yes, facial nerve. Can you tell me in the third? Yes, glossopharyngeal nerve. Can I write just number? Yes, 9th cranial number, and that is called glossopharyngeal, right? Yes. In the fourth, you know, superior laryngeal nerve. I have explained this in the MCQ. Okay, how to remember this? So superior laryngeal nerve. Am I right? And this is the recurrent laryngeal nerve. Am I right? So can you tell me? See, mandibular nerve from first pharyngeal arch. What is the nerve for the second pharyngeal arch? That is the facial nerve. Here is the glossopharyngeal nerve. Here is the superior laryngeal for the fourth, and for the sixth recurrent laryngeal nerve. So this is the mandibular nerve. Okay. So I just want to write something here. That is the. I hope you got this concept right here. Now, here is the. I want to write here something that is called here nuclei, right? So which nuclei I should write here? See, the mandibular nerve is a branch of, you know, there is trigeminal nerve. Okay, so it is the branch of the trigeminal nerve. So can I write that this is the motor nucleus of the sixth cranial nerve. Facial nerve. This is also motor nuclei of the seventh cranial nerve. Right? But this 9th cranial nerve, that is called glossopharyngeal, superior laryngeal, and the recurrent laryngeal nerve, that is having one nucleus, and that is called nucleus for amicus. Right? So nucleus amicus. So these things you have to remember. Now when I will explain the cranial number 7, okay, which fibers I will write? That is the facial nerve. And the facial nerve is a nerve of second pharyngeal arch. So what should come in mind? Second pharyngeal arch. Oh, the moment you think pharyngeal arch, what should come in your mind? Special visceral efferent fibers, right? So this is the sixth cranial number. So whenever I will talk about sixth cranial number, I will take these fibers there, and I will take I will say the sixth cranial number having these fibers. On that time you should not have any doubt. Yeah, facial nerve, ninth cranial nerve, and this is the what? These are the ultimately branches from the vagus only, no? Yes. So in the vagus we will write this fibers. On that time you should not have any doubt, right? So here is the nucleus ambiguous. So what will happen? See, this nucleus is very important. Why this nucleus is very important? Because when you start this vagus nerve, okay, you from where you will start? Which nucleus? So this nucleus will be very important. Okay, but mandibular nerve you will write a normal word only, motor nuclei of the sixth cranial nerve, right? So this is the things which you have to understand. Okay, and one thing, see, this is the 10th. This is the 10th cranial nerve only, no? 10th, and this is the 9th cranial nerve. Okay, so nucleus ambiguous is present in the 9th and 10th cranial nerve. Tell me, yes, right only, no? Yes. So now I want to explain the general visceral efferent. General visceral efferent, that is the visceral but general, right? So it will supply to the glands. It will supply to the glands. I hope you understood this tools. Okay. Now, general visceral, there is general visceral efferent. So, general visceral and efferent. Okay. So, they supply the glands, smooth muscles of the viscera and the vessels, right? So, they supply to the glands. So, can you tell me the parotid gland? Yeah, we are starting again. The parotid gland is supplied by what? And this is the parasympathetic. And this is in the parasympathetic. Parasympathetics, right? So in this what happened? We have to tell about the secretomotor fibers. Fibers, right? Yeah. So can you tell me the parotid for the parotid glands? Oh, OT ganglion. Yes, OT ganglion is the secretomotor fibers supplying to the parotid gland. Yes, it's arising from where? That is the very, very important thing. It arises from the inferior salivary nucleus or the superior salivary nucleus. It arises from the inferior salivary nucleus, right? So, I am right here for the parotid gland. Parotid gland, right? So, what will happen? Inferior salivary nucleus, okay? Inferior salivary nucleus. After that, which nerve will be carried this? Have you finished the OT ganglion? Have you watched that video? In that I told Gifty and Mega. G means glossopharyngeal nerve. So from here, ninth cranial nerve. Ninth cranial nerve. Okay, and from here it will go to the OT ganglion. Right? From the OT ganglion it will go to the parotid gland. So what ultimately I want to tell you, see here, ninth cranial number. You know, here is the ninth cranial number. So whenever we will talk about the ninth cranial number, what? Can we use this? Can we use this? Yes. Now, one thing is the superior salivary nucleus. From here, what will happen? Superior salivary nucleus. Mandibular gland. No, you know one gland is there that is called mandibular gland. Okay, and we read that. How to write the mandibular gland? This is the exact position, no? In this end, if you want to write this, okay? This is the superficial part, this is the deep part. I don't know whether you watch video or not, okay? So, submandibular gland. So, there is one ganglion that is called submandibular ganglion, right? So, here is the submandibular ganglion. Okay, so fibers from here, it will relay in the submandibular ganglion, and as this will supply to this submandibular gland. So, which fibers is here? I mean, a submandibular gland, no? Which nerve is carrying? That is the seventh cranial nerve. Yeah, you know very well. You are very genius, no? So, seventh, that is the facial nerves. Okay, so whenever we will talk about the facial nerve, okay, it's from where? Superior salivary nucleus. What nucleus we will write? Superior salivary nucleus. Okay, there is other nucleus also. And can you write this fibers for the Seventh cranial nerve? Yeah, of course, we have to write it. Okay, that's why I am explaining. See, the ninth cranial nerve is supplying there, right? So, we have to write this fibers. Okay, and one more thing is that superior salivary nucleus and everything is over. One is the lacrimal nucleus. So, here is the lacrimal nucleus, right? So, this lacrimal nucleus, what it does, it will supply to the which part? It will go into the pterygopalatine ganglion, and here it will see lacrimal nucleus. No, so lacrimal gland. Lacrimal gland. Can you tell me which nerve is supplying this fibers? Third cranial nerve. Okay, whether it is third cranial nerve or seventh cranial nerve, this is you have to remember. Okay, so don't confuse this lacrimal nucleus with one thing which I am going to discuss. But this is also by seventh cranial nerve only. Seventh cranial. Okay. Now the thing is the nucleus is there, and I think it's visible up to this. Okay, that is called Edinger Westphal nucleus. Okay, what it does, its fibers is in the ciliary ganglion. So ciliary ganglion. Okay, from here it is supplying to the muscles. Okay, ciliary muscles, right? So this fibers carry what the third cranial nerve. So whenever we will talk about the third cranial nerve, this will be right. This general visceral efferent fiber is there. Yeah, we have to write there. Okay, so this all things about the efferent. See here, this all things about the efferent. So what we have read, one thing is the general somatic efferent. Second thing is the special visceral efferent. General, visceral and efferent, right? So this is the things which we have to understand. Now we already saw somatic, somites, right? Two type of somites, and everything you know which cranial nerve will come. Special visceral. The moment you think special visceral, pharyngeal arch. Okay, so pharyngeal nerves for the pharyngeal arch. Okay, everyone having this fibers, and this is for general visceral efferent, and this is we are going to discuss here, right? So it's supplying to the glands and all. So ninth cranial number, seventh cranial number, third cranial number, everything is having this. Okay, why they having? Because of this only. Okay, because they supplying to the glands and all. Okay, so we finished this part. Okay, so this is what we finished the efferent. Now we have to talk about afferent. Okay, afferent is the very simple. And can you tell me the nucleus of the GV nucleus? Can I get? Yeah, one time question has been asked, the nucleus of the this. So this is inferior salivary nucleus, superior salivary nucleus, lacrimatous nucleus, and the Edinger-Westphal nucleus, and one more nucleus which I forgot to mention, that is the dorsal nuclei of the vagus. Okay, don't mind it, but dorsal vagus, dorsal nucleus of vagus. Right, this nucleus is also there. So there is a 5 nucleus: inferior salivary nucleus, superior salivary nucleus, lacrimatous nucleus, Edinger-Westphal nucleus, and this the dorsal nucleus of the vagus. So see, vagus is here. No, when I will explain the 10th cranial number, okay, I will write this fibers also there, right? Yes. Now afferent. Want to talk about afferent. Afferent is the very simple. You know that these all fibers from the central nervous system to going to the respective structures, right? Now afferent. In the afferent, what happening? First of all, we are talking about afferent. Afferent, right? First things, general somatic afferent, right? We will GVA, right? GVA. So general somatic afferent. Can you tell me the general somatic afferent, what it will do? They carry the general sensation of the pain, temperatures. Okay, can you tell me, see, in our entire body, okay, from everywhere in the body, okay, touch sensation, if there is something, okay, touch temperature, which tract is carrying? Spinothalamic tract, right? But in the central nervous system is in the head and neck portion, not central nervous system, in the head and neck portion. Who is carrying? See, spinothalamic tract, and everything is present in the spinal cord only. But spinal cord over, no, up to this level. Now in the face, which nerve? principal nerve of the head and neck, that is the trigeminal nerve. Okay, so general somatic fiber, this is for the what? For general sensation of the touch, okay, for the temperatures, right? So which nerve? Trigeminal nerve. Trigeminal nerve. Okay, sensations. So this is the what? General sensation. This is just for the general sensation. General sensation. And which nerve is carrying? That is the trigeminal nerve is the carrying the general sensation. So whenever we will talk about the trigeminal nerve, I will tell you the general somatic efferent fiber. It having general somatic efferent fibers. Why? Because this is the responsible for the general sensation, and it is, and general sensation is carried by trigeminal nerve only. Okay, so I will tell this there. On that time you should not have any doubt. Right? Now, second thing is that I want to talk about SVA and GVA, right? General somatic efferent, and general somatic efferent. No, oh sorry, I thought there is also GVS. Here is also GVS. What? This is the GSL, right? So I want to talk about this. Now what happening? This is for the sensations, right? Touch sensations and the for the taste sensations. Okay, so taste sensation and plus touch sensation, right? So actually what happening in this touch sensation is general sensation only. Okay, so general sensation. And one more thing is the taste sensation and the general sensation. Now you tell me this. Okay, I want to write it here. SVA. So visceral and somatic. This is the special visceral afferent. Okay, and that is for they carry the sensation, taste sensation from where? Tongue only. Taste sensation from where? Tongue only. So now you have to tell me the now supply of the tongue. Anterior 2/3. Yes. Here I am going to write anterior 2/3. Yes. Tell me 7th cranial number. Right? Yes. You know all that. 7th cranial nerve. Which now chorda tympani. Okay. Which is the branch of the facial nerve. And posterior 1/3. Which nerve will come posterior 1/3? 9th nerve. Right? Yes. So 9th cranial nerve. And posterior most is carried by 10th cranial nerve. Can you tell me now one thing? See, we know the nerve supply. Okay, anterior 2/3 taste sensation is carried by chorda tympani, right? Which is the branch of the 7th cranial nerve. So whenever I will talk about 7th cranial nerve, 7th cranial nerves. So what I will write? I will tell you there is a special visceral afferent fiber is there. On that time you should not have any problem, because we know from here. Okay, because it's applied to the tongue, that's why it's having that fiber, right? Whenever I will talk about 9th cranial nerve, whenever I will talk about the 10th cranial nerve, okay, I will use this fibers. Okay, so these things you have to understand, right? So these things over, general somatic is over, and these two are over. Okay, now one more thing is that is just for the special somatic, right? That are the general somatic, and now here is the special somatic fibers, right? So this is the special somatic fiber that is for the vestibular nerve. Remember, that is for the vestibular nerve. Okay, which is the cranial number 8th cranial number. Okay, it having one nucleus, and that is called cochlear nucleus. Vestibular and the cochlear, you know. So there is a nucleus. Okay, so don't mind it. Cochlear nucleus and everything. Okay, so what we learned in this lectures, that is the which fibers are coming in which particular nerve. Okay, so can you tell me here? Now you tell me. Okay, if you are not able to tell everything, that's okay. That's not one problem. Okay, but you tell something about any nerve. Can you tell me the cranial number 3rd? Third cranial number, which fiber? Can you tell me the 7th cranial number, which fiber? Can you tell me the 12th? Which fibers? You tell one by one. Okay, that is more than enough. Okay, when you read it again and again, no, everything will be fine. So in the third cranial number, so third cranial number is the supplying to the eye, right? You know, it's supplying to the eye, right? So if it's supplying to the eye, oh, extraocular muscles of the eye, somites, general, somatic, efferent, right? Yes. So general, somatic, efferent. Where is other, in other, like that is the ciliary ganglion, okay, fibers carried by the third cranial nerve, that was what? General, visceral, efferent, right? So general, visceral, efferent, right? Yeah. Seventh cranial number. Can you tell me? Now only we discuss, no? Anterior 2/3 of the tongue is supplied by, carrying a test sensation, chorda tympani. So which fiber is there? Special visceral afferent, right? So special visceral afferent, right? Any other in the seventh cranial number? Can you tell me? Yeah, cranial number is the submandibular ganglion. Okay, it's fibers going to the submandibular ganglion, right? So which? So that is the glands, supplying to the glands. Okay, so general, somatic, and fibers going from the central nervous system to the submandibular ganglion, right? So efferent only, no? So general, visceral, efferent only, no? I'm telling 1, 2, 2, okay. So after that everything you have to write, okay. Any other in the seventh cranial number, any other you know? So tell me, okay. Tell me the 12th. 12th is the hypoglossal, okay. So that is the motor. Okay, motor in the hypoglossal, supplying to the tongue only, no? And tongue, muscles of the tongue from where? That is from occipital somites. It's derived from the occipital somites. Am I right? Yes. So which fibers? That is first general, somatic, efferent. Right? So here is the general, somatic, efferent. Did you understand how to write? Can you tell me the fourth cranial number? Where it's supplying? SO4. Only one thing, SO4. Finished. Superior oblique by the fourth cranial. Right? So that is in the eye. Extraocular muscles. Superior. See, this muscles is the superior oblique. Is the extraocular muscles. So extraocular muscles supplied by which fiber will be there? You know that is somatic. So general somatic. So general somatic, efferent. Eye is here, no? Here is central nervous system, efferent, right? So this is how you have to write it. Okay. Trigeminal nerve. Fifth nerve. Okay, trigeminal nerve. Can you tell me that for trigeminal nerve? Yeah, you can write. Now you can write everything. Okay. For sixth cranial nerve. For the trigeminal nerve. Tell me. Think for the trigeminal. Think. Yeah, think. So what will happen? Mandibular. From the first pharyngeal arch. Now of the first pharyngeal arch, the mandible. And that is special visceral efferent. The moment we think special visceral efferent, yes, special visceral efferent, what should come in our mind? Pharyngeal arch. Second is from the seventh cranial number. So right here, this is one. Second, right here. Third also. What is that? Same here. Right. So this is how you have to remember the things. Okay. So I hope you understood this basic concept of the cranial nerve, which is the very, very important. If you are not worried about this concept, then I don't think you will understand the cranial nerve. Okay, you have to understand cranial nerve, then you have to understand these concepts. Okay, so that's the very beautiful concept we discussed. Okay, and after that, hereafter I will explain the cranial nerve. Okay, in the very simplest way, I will explain the very simplest way. Okay, you all will understand. Okay, so keep connecting with us. Okay, and thank you. Okay, so thank you.